stomach really hurts.
Really? Your stomach hurts that bad? Well, why don't you try KO Pectate? It's supposed to relieve heartburn and diarrhea in what will feel like no time at all.
Yeah, I've heard about that KO Pectate. They've been in business for over 20 years, and unlike Pepto-Bismol, the taste is much more bearable. So where can I pick up this amazing KO Pectate?
Well, I'm glad you asked, because that's the best part of this product. Anyone can find it at their local drugstore or supermarket.
Great, gotta go get me some KO Pectate.
You're listening to Mildly Offensive with your host, Corey Wagner and Dylan France.
Hello and good afternoon to our 3 and maybe 2, maybe 1 listeners.
Afternoon?
Yeah, good afternoon, good evening. We're coming to you, we're coming on you. This is Mildly Offensive.
Yeah, we're mildly offensive.
Only
Listen,
mildly.
And
obviously I'm Dylan France, and I'm here with my pal, Corey Wagner.
Oh, yeah.
And
the C-man,
yeah,
the big man.
The big old core man.
Yeah.
The big...
Listen, if anybody's coming on anybody, obviously, my juices are flowing at this time of night. On a Monday, my juices are heavily flowing.
We got a lot to talk about.
Oh, the Jets. The Jets have been awful this year, obviously. But they were especially terrible in the win, and I will explain how that was the case very shortly.
The Jets, to me, especially this year, more years than any year, could honestly fuck up a wet dream.
Well, listen, I mean, I've been, like, I always want to be moist during my football games, and this year I've been especially dry, and it has been a very disappointing season for me so far. So, we got the Jets coming up, right, Dylan?
Yeah, we got the Jets. We're here on you're going to get a different attitude from us today, because we did win. At the end of the day, a win is a win is a win.
Is a win is a win.
Yeah.
But some wins are not equal, and this win was not equal to a win-win. Like it was like a win-loss, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, it kind of sucks, because it's like you mess up your draft position by winning. At this time of year, we're almost at the point where we're just rooting for the draft pick.
I mean, Michael Carter gets hurt, and I would say that Zach Wilson regressed, even though, he was more of a game manager than he was really the main focal point. But I mean, but you have to remember, the Jets They won. They beat a team that was the worst team in the league, though. If we played an AFC East team, we would have lost that game, and we would have lost it pretty easily. This win and this Jets team being a good football team is, I mean,
long gone.
Yeah, that is not an accurate representation of what we got. We also got some Mets talk coming up. We got some Yankees talk, and
what the fuck are they doing is the question.
Yeah,
we're a little upset about that. So we're gonna save that for a little while. We're gonna let you enjoy our happiness because the Jets won.
We're especially upset.
We're gonna come on Brian Cashman.
Oh jeez.
I mean,
well, we're gonna
maybe not.
We're gonna choke him out and see if it hurts him.
He might like it.
He might like that. And then obviously Steve Cohen has spent a lot of money. He's opened up the checkbook. Will it pay off for the Mets? I don't know. But we will discuss that coming up in a couple of minutes, guys. We will be right back. We are mildly offensive. Dylan and I are going to tackle all these topics and,
maybe some other stuff, too. Who
yeah,
knows?
Maybe.
You never know which way this mildly offensive car is going to go.
Yeah, we think of us as a train that's derailing.
Yeah, just
very slowly. And eventually, there's going to be no tracks. And we will see you guys in a few. Tracks apparently are not needed for this show. Have you heard of Insert Here? This product is fantastic. Here at Mildly Offensive, we don't want to offend anybody, but unless it's mildly. But Insert Here is it's the #1 product in USA. What do you say, Dylan?
Actually, we are here to offend people. All of you. We hope you're all offended. Tell me more about Insert Here, Corey.
So Insert Here is a product that, if you stick your finger in it, you can really dig in deep, and you can insert wherever you please.
Oh, wherever I please.
Wherever you please. Insert here. Little lubrication needed, and you can really insert anywhere. So insert here, insert there, insert anywhere. Kids, your parents are going to be begging for you to get them this gift this holiday season. Insert here. You heard it here first. At Mildly Offensive. Dylan and I endorse it. Insert here.
I have a bottle right now. I'll see you later.
Okay, Dylan. You go have fun with Insert Here. We're going to start this show. Insert anywhere.
Bye.
Struck by lightning. but a beef. Ain't that a chance you're gonna buy it at the mall? But it's a 23 or 4 to 1 that you can fall in love by the end of this song. So get up, tell the book you would have been
And we're back.
We didn't know we were back. Look at that. That's a first for mildly offensive. We had no idea we were back.
We got a giant sneezer upstairs. Apparently, I just heard a giant sneeze, and she didn't want to interrupt the show, but obviously the other day she disrupted it, so might as well disrupt it now. Thanks, Chelsea. So the Jets, they did win 21-14 to they beat the Texans, but the Texans are probably the worst team in football.
We're
right,
not the dumpster fire though, like you said last week, so that's that's a win.
Well, I mean,
if we lost to the dumpster fire, then we were the dumpster fire.
So let's dive into this.
Maybe we're still a dumpster fire.
Let's dive into this horrible game the Jets had, even though we won. Let's get into the first drive. The Jets played defense horribly on the first drive. They got lucky that John Franklin Myers was able to bat a ball up in the air and intercept it. I mean, how ridiculous was that play?
Yeah, to be completely honest with you, I didn't see it.
Well, we appreciate the honesty.
There's my insight.
From the big deal here. Listen, John Franklin Myers intercepted this pass, and he ran it back to about the 40 of the Jets. And it was a fantastic individual effort. But ultimately, listen, the fact of the matter is the offense of the Texans with Tyrod Taylor is anemic, right? And the Jets' defense is pathetic. But for a brief second on Sunday, yesterday, it didn't seem as pathetic as it normally did. The Jets, they came up with a couple of stops. Their offensive line played pretty well. They pressured Tyrod, and they got some stops. They sacked Tyrod a couple of times when they had to, and the Jets, I mean, let's be honest, they won because of their defensive line. They didn't win because of their whole defense, but because of the defensive line, they were able to do something enough to stop Houston's offense from being on the field, and enough to give the Jets a chance to be on the field longer than they were, and that's why the Jets won the game.
The thing with I did see the Brandon Cooks touchdown that Tyrod Taylor threw when we were down.
It was actually a good throw. It was in the,
but
it was essentially double coverage.
Yeah, I was just gonna say it was very good coverage too. From what I saw,
I mean, Bryce Hall was molesting him, and he still was able.
And I can't say anything bad about the coverage on that play. I think they did everything they could, and I think we might have a player with this Quincy Williams, the younger brother of Quinnen
Williams and Quincy Williams both. They both played pretty well,
and they kind of being that they're brothers. I don't know that has much to do with it, but they feed off of each other when they're both doing well. When one of them's doing well, the other one steps up, and they're celebrating. They're celebrating tackles for losses together, and
listen. Anytime any NFL player does anything remotely decent, they have to celebrate. I mean,
of course, even if you're down 38-7.
Yeah, you tackle someone in the open field and you're down 40 points. You gotta do like a fucking Irish jig, because if you don't do that, that's blasphemy.
And the other thing that I noticed late in the game, it was 18-14 Jets. You had alluded to it last week. It's 4th and 1. And apparently we don't trust our kicker after he missed a 42-yarder.
Matt Amendola obviously is not somebody
so
that the Jets...
we went for it on 4th and 1.
He's not long for the Jets, let's be honest.
We went for it on 4th and 1, which I agreed with you last week when you said this, that if we just don't go for it on 4th down, use all your downs.
Yeah, you might as well. I mean, we're not making the playoffs. Even if we don't get it,
and
what's the worst that's going to happen? We're going to end up losing the game regardless, so who cares?
And Elijah Moore made a really nice catch on 4th and 1. It wasn't really nice, but he was out in the open. And
well, Elijah Moore, it was more of a handoff. It was a trickery little shovel pass, and he was able to go around the edge. And there was one really good block. I forgot who did the block, but he came in on the inside, on the left side of the line, and got about 8 yards. And I mean,
he came on the inside.
He did, and I don't think he got her pregnant, but he might have.
We'll let you know in a couple of months.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do a pregnancy test on this one.
Yeah. Oh no.
We got a beast coming down the stairs.
That was mean.
Well, it was a little mean. Uh-oh.
You're looking to get whipped with a charger.
I might
again.
have to.
I think that provided some content for us in the first.
This girl
episode.
might hurt us a little bit. Smidgen bit.
I don't know. I love how you said us. I defended her.
Well,
so.
listen, Dylan thinks he's in the clear, but this girl's gonna beat the crap out of him too.
Listen, I know better.
Don't hurt me! Don't hurt me! Right in the titty, baby. Oh,
That was not my fault.
I've known her.
Stop it.
listen.
I've known her a long time. I choose my battles.
We're talking Jets right now. This
Very
girl is
smart.
disrupting this Jets talk. Get out of here! Get out of here! Jets. You want
They suck. They suck. They suck.
to add something?
She added that
Okay,
to
get the
it.
fuck out of here! Get the fuck out of here!
Tell us something we don't know.
Goon. You fucking goon. Anyway, so she's looking for something. This girl's
I
nuts.
think she's looking for the gummies.
Hey, oh god, she's looking for chocolate.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah,
We all love chocolate.
Obviously, women love chocolate. That's their thing. Back to the Jets, real quick. They listen. They didn't play great. Zach was very. The thing that puzzled me yesterday was Zach was very inaccurate with his passes.
Puzzled you?
With the easy passes.
He's been
inaccurate
more than he's been anything else
Yeah,
this year. Man.
But he's been especially inaccurate with his easy passes, with the check down passes. What the hell is he doing? What are the Jets doing? Why don't they have somebody teach him how to throw the fucking ball accurately?
Yeah, I don't know, and the Jets just have a fascination, and I'm not ready to jump ship on the kid just yet, but the Jets seem to have this fascination with guys that have only played
Big
a little
asses.
bit in college. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
big
Mark
asses.
Sanchez, who, to be completely honest with you,
Dude,
he'll never be remembered for the good stuff that he did.
The
'cause
Jets
he
have
did
a
that.
the Jets have a fascination with guys from schools that typically don't produce great quarterbacks. Like
Well, that's
like
kind of what I
USC.
was trying to say, but you just said it shorter. Okay, so we're on the
Like
same page.
USC, I mean, like USC.
But Zach Wilson had 1 year in college where people noticed who he was, and it's not.
Listen, I'm not saying Zach is going to be great, and I'm not saying Zach's going to be terrible. All I'm saying is I am concerned by the lack of progress I've seen from Zach. And I think the Jets overall, if they would be lying to you if Joe Douglas came to you right now and said, hey, Zach's going to be great, you would be skeptical because I don't think he could tell you that definitively right now.
No.
The Jets, honestly, they might be better off long term with Mike White.
But do you think that we're in the same position we're in if we take Mac Jones? Because Mac Jones seems to be like he's the best of the bunch here.
I think Mac Jones is a system quarterback.
Well,
And
yeah,
and I say that.
But how did we let him get to a guy that knows how to make a system quarterback work?
And I say
better than anybody.
And I say that nicely. I don't think Mac Jones is bad, but I think that in New England with Bill Belichick and Josh McDaniels, they have this synergy. They have this perfect mesh where he works. Now, I'm not saying that he would be bad in New York, but I don't think he would have been much better than what Zach is.
But who puts, I think the Jets are kind of just damned if they do, damned if they don't. We wouldn't be in a better position if we had Trevor Lawrence. Look at him; he's in a similar situation down there.
So I think Trevor Lawrence, though, and again, I've watched very little of Trevor Lawrence. I cannot tell you definitively that he would be better than
He
Zach.
was a hell of a college quarterback. I can tell you that.
Well,
much.
so was Tim Tebow, was he not?
Right? Yeah.
Tim Tebow might have been the best college quarterback ever. That didn't translate to the NFL at all. So this whole "you're great in college, you're great in the pros" thing is bullshit. Ultimately, I don't know what the answer is, but the Jets, I don't know if the Jets hit a home run with Zach. All I can say is we're still not sure, and we're in, week 12? And I know that he's only played, like 5 or 6 games, so he's...
Yeah.
But ultimately, it worries me that he's already been hurt. It worries me that the Jets' offensive line does not look good, and it worries me that he doesn't look like he's on the same page with the wide receivers that some of the other backup quarterbacks have been. If you look at Elijah Moore, he's had his best weeks when Zach has not played.
Yeah.
And Elijah Moore is our best wide receiver. You'd have to agree, right?
Oh, right now, absolutely.
So
I would have made a case for Corey Davis at first, but he's been
Corey Davis
non-existent.
has been hurt every fucking game.
You know
So-
who I do like too, though, and I think deserves a little bit of honorable mention for some of the plays that he's made on
Berrios?
office. Yes, Braxton
Braxton
Berrios.
Berrios. But ultimately,
Crack some berry hose, you know.
but ultimately, I think
Is that a cereal?
I might
Berry hose
berry hose.
or berry hose?
I want to bury some hose.
Berry hose.
Berry hose. But what I want to do is I want to sit here and I want to honestly say that it is a concern that arguably our most talented and our rookie wide receiver has been at his worst when our number 2 pick in the draft has been in the game, and I'm a little concerned by that. But you know what though? Ultimately, the Jets won the game,
and that's something to be happy about.
Zach, well, I don't know about that, but Zach managed the game and got us the W. The problem I have with the game is we're playing against probably the worst team in the league, and we're probably maybe the second worst team in the league.
Well, Detroit's there too.
Maybe the third worst team in the league. Whatever we are. But ultimately, we have to look at the fact that we're not where we want to be, I guess. And
Now, I'm not gonna sit here and fucking piss in your ear and tell you it's raining, Corey.
well, I appreciate that, because
but
if you're
a win-
pissing in my ear, then obviously I got more problems.
Yeah,
than
well,
it's
then you
raining
should check
outside.
back to our sponsor from last week, Dick in the Ear. But anyway, that's for another time and another place.
Cock in the butt, right?
Yeah.
Cock in the butt is the sister sponsor.
Yeah.
That might be our sponsor
I've heard-
today. We're not
I've
sure
heard a
yet,
lot-
guys.
I've heard a lot about them too.
And cock in the butt might be something that we give a free offer to some of our female listeners.
I've noticed, and one thing that I've been able to do over the years is when it comes to the Jets, I take a win when I can get a win. It doesn't matter what it looks like.
So I guess what I was trying to say is not to cut you off, but yes, I like that we won the game, Dylan, but I don't like that we lost a draft pick potentially because we surpassed them in wins, and I don't like what does it do for us at the end of the year? We have bragging rights because we have 3 wins instead of 2. I mean, it doesn't do shit for me.
Yeah, I mean, but how long do you want to be in this never-ending carousel of being up there in the top 5? If we don't have the right people in the front office making the picks, it's not going to fucking matter anyway.
Yeah, and I think
I don't know that this is the right guy.
And
we have all this capital next year, and we don't know if this is the right regime to make the pick.
But I think Joe Douglas might be the right guy. I don't trust that Woody Johnson, the owner, is the right owner, but we don't really have a choice in that matter. And and then we're in a spot where we have all this draft, like you said, draft capital. We have all this money to spend, but the problem we have is Zach Wilson the right guy to build around? Who knows?
Yeah.
But hopefully we know that by the end of the season. I don't know.
You know what? I think the only way that we find out if he's the right guy to build around is if we try to build around him. And at that case, if we find out that he's not the guy, we have a team built for the first time ever. We have a team built before we have the quarterback. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We have the team around the quarterback before the quarterback's even here.
Which is the goal when you're rebuilding and you're
but
drafting the quarterback first.
Yeah.
And listen,
And that's all they've ever done is draft the fucking quarterback first, and it drives me crazy.
Listen, I get it. I get.
There's so many things that drive me crazy, though.
Oh, everything drives you fucking crazy, Dill.
Yeah,
you're
especially
a
the
crazy
fucking Jets.
You're a fucking crazy guy, Dill.
Fucking Jets.
Dill, we call him Dill Pickle. You know why we call him Dill Pickle?
Yeah. Oh, don't tell the listeners.
Because he loves being Dill and he loves getting pickled.
Oh.
He comes free with the burger and a set of fries. He does.
Just go to your local Inside Me Out burger.
Inside Me Out. Well, is that like a cat burger or?
Yeah, and you could get one right now for free.
What the fuck is that?
I have no idea what we're talking about.
I don't
we're
know.
a little bit off topic.
So
here.
why don't we just say, okay, so the Jets were a little disappointing, but they won the game, and ultimately Dylan likes that we won. I'm not 100% happy we won, but at the end of the day, our defense showed up a little bit. I know we played the worst team in the league, but our defense did show signs, and Zach Wilson, I know he was his first game back from injury. I'm willing to give him a reprieve. on some of his inaccuracies. I think what we got to do now is we got to focus on the next game against Philly, and we got to decide if what weight we're putting on the next game. If we can win the next game and Zach's accuracy improves, then maybe we have a lot more positive stuff to talk about.
And you know what? The Giants beat the Eagles yesterday. Jalen Hurts did not look good. Not if you wanted to just transition to the Giants for a few minutes. I watched more of this game than I did our own game. You know, the Giants didn't look great.
Homer.
The Giants didn't look great. I think Barkley had a 132-yard rush, and then the rest of the game had 12 yards.
Yeah, well, Barkley's a fucking injury machine.
Yeah, and their offensive line's a joke too. But you know, the Giants pulled off the win.
13-7.
Both New York teams win on the same day. It doesn't happen very often anymore. And I was at the bar and I heard a guy say, "You remember when they used to play the Jets and the Giants at different times?" And I said, "Yeah, I do remember that." And the guy said, "Well, now they're not good and nobody gives a shit."
Well, that could not be any more accurate. Now, but the Giants are at least competitive every week,
and it looks like they're trying to win.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And
whereas what are we trying to do?
I think their coaching staff has done a little bit of a better job than ours has at making them ready for the game. But I think Daniel Jones, he has shown that he's not the guy. So they're behind the 8 ball now. I think they got to redraft another quarterback or draft or trade for another quarterback. I think the Giants are in a worse spot than the Jets. Ultimately, I think both New York teams are they're a whiles away from being good. So I like Joe Judge, though. I like their coach better than I like our coach, which is it's sad. But I like Joe Judge. I think he is a disciplined, no bullshit, no nonsense guy. I don't think Robert Saleh is that. I think Robert Saleh is, we're going to do everything the players want because I want to make the players happy. He's like a fucking Aaron Boone kind of adjacent kind of guy, and I'm not.
And boy, do we have some things that we need to get off our chest when it comes to the Aaron Boone-led Yankees.
Yeah, we're going to get that in a few minutes, guys. We're going to get to the Yankees. We're going to take a quick break.
A quick break?
You're like
a quickie.
Yeah, like Dylan's jerking off. It's going to take 2 seconds, and we'll be right back to you.
And then I got to cry for 12 seconds, and we'll be back.
Yeah, he'll probably huff and puff, and then he'll go, oh, Mommy, I can't believe it came already. Okay, bye-bye. Man, my throat really hurts. It's dry, and it's scratchy. What should I do?
Well, I think that there's a product just for you. Maybe you should try Suck Cocks Again.
Suck Cocks Again? Is this something that works?
Yeah, it will make your throat feel better, and maybe you'll even choke a little bit.
Yeah, but will it get stuck in my throat?
Well, that's just for you to find out and me to know forever.
Is this a product just for women?
No, Corey, of course not. You could use it. You could use it. Your cat could use it. Hell, even your dog could use it. Just ask your dog if he has a sore throat.
Oh my God, I think everybody should try Suck Cocks Again.
Yes, I think so too. It sounds very good to me.
Woohoo! Suck Cocks Again. Let's all do it.
Well, it's alright. Riding around in the breeze. Well, it's alright. If you live the life you please, well, it's alright. Doing the best you can, well, it's alright. As long as you lend a hand, you can sit around and wait for the phone to ring. Waiting for someone to tell you everything. Sit around and wonder what tomorrow will bring.
And we're back. And gotta again raise the roof to our sponsor, Cock in the Butt.
The roof is on fire.
Yeah. We don't need no water. Let the motherfucker burn. Yeah. So So Yankees. Let's get to the Yankees. Speaking of burning to the ground, Brian Cashman has been. The Yankees have been a dumpster fire, have they not?
They have, yeah. They're right there with the Houston Texans.
So, let me ask you this, Dylan. We lost out on Corey Seager. He went to the fucking Texas Rangers for 10 years, $325 million, right? And Marcus Semien. What team did he go to, Dylan?
The Texas Rangers.
And for how much?
Oh, I don't know.
A lot.
Yeah.
7 years and something. So, and let's be honest, Max Scherzer just signed with the Mets today. 3 years, $130 million. Do the quick math there, Dylan. $43 million a year. So, let me ask you this, Brian Cashman, if you're listening.
Where are you?
What the fuck are you doing, dumb motherfucker? Like, what are we
you
doing?
sleeping?
Are we standing pat with the team we had last year? Are you out of your fucking mind, Brian?
Where this is an open letter to you, you fucking scumbag. Wake up.
You're the cash man. Cash.
You've been here for 30 fucking years. Get something going here.
Well, 25 at least.
Yeah.
So,
well, you know what? He's been here a while. I'm gonna give him an extra 5 years.
Okay, that sounds
just
good.
like upper management's doing. They're gonna give him an extra 5 years for doing nothing.
so
assholes.
ultimately, though, is Carlos Correa on your radar, or are you content with Andrelton Simmons?
I think that all these teams that the Mets are making splashes. The Mariners signed Robbie Ray.
What a
the
joke.
Mets have made a couple of moves. They've spent over $250 million in 3 days.
And the Yankees have done nothing. And guess what? The CBA is coming up on December, 3rd?
Yeah.
5th?
A couple days.
In a couple days. And we're not close to signing anybody. Like, what are we doing?
I think at this point, Correa has to be. How is Correa not on your radar? That's your biggest need is shortstop, and you want to fill it with somebody who can't fucking hit?
Yeah, ultimately, the Yankees got to decide right now. Are we going to be contenders or pretenders in 2022? Because
I think we're going to be contenders.
Contenders. So that for those kids at home, I mean, those are like chicken tenders, but there's come on them. So do you want to eat them? Probably not.
No. Yeah.
Yeah.
You shouldn't do that.
Unless your parents tell you to eat them, and they're protein and they're good for you.
Let's not. That little snippet was brought to you by Contenders. Get them in dinosaur shaped.
Yeah, they're delicious if you cook them at 350. Boom. All right. Anyway, so
look, Dad, I got a Comosaurus.
Yeah. Look, Daddy.
We're going down the wrong road here.
T-Rex coming at you. Anyway,
coming on you.
Coming on. So the Yankees need. Obviously shortstop's not the only need they have, but
it's. I would say it's the biggest. Would you agree?
I would say shortstop and center field are the two biggest.
We need another pitcher. We need to figure out first base.
Max Scherzer goes to the Mets. There goes that pitcher.
We offer
first
Verlander
base.
a
We can
contract
get
too
Matt
late.
Olson, maybe, but maybe not. We could re-sign.
Rizzo.
Rizzo would be a great re-sign.
I guess Voit is like the last resort here. If we don't sign somebody, we just keep Voit and be okay with that. But I don't know if I would be okay with that.
Voit hits it to Detroit anyway. So anyway, whatever.
Little John Sterling.
Little John Sterling action. Well, it's better than Chris Collins. Pointless.
Collins
worthless. Sorry about that.
Collins worthless.
Forgot about that. Forgot about your little.
Here's a guy in Brian Cashman.
Here's a guy
not even awake right now. He's sleeping because it's 8:30 at night, and because he's an idiot that doesn't sign anybody.
Yeah. The guy's name is Cashman. He doesn't cash in anywhere. The Yankees ultimately, I mean, you need a center fielder. You can't go in with Aaron Hicks.
Yeah, and we
need
lost
a shortstop.
We lost the guy that we should have gotten.
You need a shortstop. You cannot play Urshela at shortstop next season. No. The Yankees got to figure out what they're doing. Obviously, email us, text us, call us, talk to us, because we need to know what you, our 3 listeners, are thinking.
We're here at 1-800 cock in the butt.
Well, that's what Dylan is.
That's my number.
Yeah, and my number is
2-800 cock in the butt.
Yeah. Fill them in softly. That's my number. Fill them in softly.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Well, listen, we're killing you softly here. The Yankees just I don't know, Dylan. Like we're in a spot where we're not doing anything, but we have all these needs. Ultimately, are you confident that this regime is going to make the necessary moves at this point?
What did you say?
Are you confident that the regime that we have in place are going to make the necessary moves to get us prepared for next season?
No.
So then,
I'm not confident in anything. If there is anybody in this front office that thinks that this team, that this franchise can run the same exact team out that they had last year,
and win
and be successful while everybody else in the league is making moves to
and
get better.
And mind you, Corey Kluber went to the Rays.
Yeah, that's not good.
No, probably not. The Klubot, the
Kublai.
the Klubot,
The great Kublowski.
the Klubot went to the Rays, and he's down in Tampa. He's lounging out. The guy's a fucking robot, so the guy's probably really loving it down there.
Yeah, the
and
great Klubot.
And we're in fucking trouble, guys. This guy's gonna fucking he's gonna robot us to death.
And you want to know what does bring me some joy? I love that the Mets are spending all this money. Spending all this money to be irrelevant at the end of the All-Star break. Just like every year.
Yeah, honestly, the Mets...
Scherzer blows his elbow out the first game he pitches. Wouldn't that be the most Mets thing to happen
I'd
in the
be
world?
shocked if Max Scherzer makes it to the first season without being hurt. Definitely. The guy's 38 years old.
Yeah, and the Mets are the Mets.
Mets are the Mets. Yeah. Nothing more Metsy.
Meet the mess. That's the song.
Nothing more Metsy than the Mets getting hurt.
It's a Metsy situation we got over here.
Listen, I got a lot of garbage in my front stoop. I got the New York Times, the New York Post, and the New York Mets. Boom. All right, guys. We'll reconvene in a couple of minutes. We're gonna go over some NFL playoffs. We're gonna go through some scenarios. We're gonna tell you who we think might be in the spots, and then we're probably gonna say goodnight because it's a late night. It's a Monday, and we're a little tired. All right, guys. We'll see you in a couple.
Take it in the face.
Yeah, right in the face, right in those eyes. Blind those motherfucking eyes.
It's been 1 week since you looked at me. Threw your hands in the air, it's you crazy. 5 days since you tackled me. I still got the red burns on both my knees. It's been 3 days since the afternoon. You realize it's not my fault, but I'm only too soon. Yesterday you'd forgiven me, and now I sit back and wait till you say you're sorry. China's the Chinese chicken. You have a drumstick and your brain stops sticking. Watching X-Files with no lights on, with all our masons. All of the smoking meds in this one, like Harrison Ford, I'm getting frantic. Like Stingham Pentrick, like Snickers guaranteed to satisfy. Like Kurosawa, I make mad films. Okay, I don't make films, but if I did, I'd have a samurai.
So, chickadee chicken, the fried chicken. Did you have a drumstick? Did your brain stop ticking? Huh. Listen,
We're back.
My brain did not stop ticking. Did yours, Dylan?
No, and we're not back with the Chinese chicken either. We're back with the chickadee fried chicken.
Oh, yeah. And, listen, we're not watching X-Files with no lights on, with Donald Mace on.
Oh. Nothing about Leanne Rimes either.
Yeah. But,
like they're coming back at her.
And obviously no Jews. I mean,
you didn't hear that.
No, we didn't say that. Wait, is that part of the song? No.
No.
Okay, so...
No,
all right,
no.
so we're...
That's a different song, Corey. That's a different song.
All right, so you made it to our last segment. We're getting to the NFL stuff. We're gonna do a little segment that some of us like to call contender or pretender
or pre-cum
tender. And either way, you're getting chicken tenders.
Yeah.
If you make them in your oven right now, we're not gonna give them to you.
Yeah,
obviously.
dinosaur-shaped ones.
Yeah. Well, if you like those and if you bought them,
better than the regular ones.
Yeah, I think they were on sale this week at ShopRite. So if you played your cards right and you were smart and you bought them, then you can definitely make them right now. Yeah, I feel good for the. Hopefully, some of our 2 listeners make those suckers right now. All right, so let's get on with the contenders. So, Dylan, who's the first contender in the AFC that you got for me?
So, the number 1 seed right now in the AFC is the Baltimore Ravens.
Oh.
Cum tender or pre-cum tender?
Well, Dylan, I love that you asked me about pre-cum because obviously pre-cum is it's at the forefront of this show. Pre-cum. But I'm gonna say they are pre-cum tenders.
Okay.
What do you think about them?
I like Baltimore, but they're too inconsistent for me.
Yeah.
Lamar is he has a good week and then he has a bad week, and I think that he really needs to be at his best if the Baltimore Ravens are going to be coming on your face.
Yeah. So ultimately, do I think Baltimore is going to come out of the AFC? No, I do not. Ergo, pre-cum tender.
Next. Okay, next. We have the AFC East leading New England Patriots. Boo!
Yeah, we don't like them, but I'm gonna say contender because
Because
they're the Patriots. They're a system team, and
Bill Belichick.
fucking Bill
at his
Belichick and
best.
fucking Mac Jones has been Mac Daddy, so
Yeah.
it's hard to argue with that. But do I think they can come out of the AFC? Yes. Do I think they will? I'm not sure about that yet. Check back with me at a later date.
I think maybe it depends on how the home field advantage
goes.
situation works out. Young quarterback on the road.
Yeah. Listen, they could either be a team that's at home and they're winning, or they could be a young guy on the road taking it on the road.
Yeah, taking it in the face.
Taking it on the road, which means obviously it's
Take it
totally
on the
different than taking it on the
road.
face. But okay, but cool.
Where you
Next
want,
team there,
baby.
Dylan.
Tennessee Titans.
Tennessee Titans without their star running back. I'm gonna have to say pre-contender, unfortunately.
Yeah, and their best receiver's out now too.
Yeah, they're in a lot of trouble.
Yeah. So we'll waste no time. I know these guys are not your favorite in the world. I think they're still at the forefront of the conversation, and I think they're a contender. The Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, I don't like them. But they may have gotten some things figured out. They might have their games. Patrick Mahomes might have his game a little bit more refined and together, and ultimately, yeah, I could see them coming out of the AFC, but I would heavily root against them, obviously.
I think if the AFC goes through Kansas City, it's going to be very tough for anybody else to come out of the AFC because that place in January rocks.
It's a hard place to play, definitely.
So next we have the first wild card spot, and that would be the Cincinnati Bengals.
The Bengals are a team that the Jets actually beat somehow.
Yeah, along with the Titans.
Somehow. And the Titans as well.
And that was with their star running back, too. We'll add that in there.
So, but the Bengals are a good team, and I think they're a pre-contender right now, but they could be a contender in the near future.
I look forward to watching Burrow play for years to come. I think he's a good young kid. He's got a good head on his shoulder. He's got some weapons out there now.
Yeah,
they just need to get him a better offensive line. He's got the running back. He's got his receivers. I think we're gonna be watching Joe Burrow succeed for a long time.
Yeah,
but I'm with you. I'll say pre-contender.
Joe Burrow could be a guy that here's a dude playing a dude disguised as another dude.
Thank you, Collinsworth.
But he could be a guy that could be a great player in the near future.
So the next team here is the second wild card team, and I think a lot of people have started to sleep on them. The Buffalo Bills.
So I love the Buffalo Bills. I actually think this is my pick to come out of the AFC. They still are. I know they played up and down recently, but the Bills, I think, for pound, are the most talented team in the AFC, and I think that Josh Allen and Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs and the whole group, the defense. I think everybody's gonna come in and they're gonna figure it out and play.
And you know what, that fan base has been through a lot. I don't necessarily hate the Bills. The Bills have been in our division as long as I can remember. As long as I think they've always been in our division, but I've never had an actual problem with the Bills.
Dylan's actually a Bill fan, I think, a little bit.
Yeah, I do like Josh Allen, and I'm gonna say contender.
He's gonna say fuck those fish, but he loves these guys.
Not to backtrack here, but my pick to come out of the AFC was initially the Kansas City Chiefs, and I'm going to stick with that.
Okay, so I'm going to go Bills. He's going to go Chiefs. So let's get to the NFC then.
No, wait, hold on. We have one more wild card.
One more team. Then we'll get to the NFC.
And then there's a couple of other 6 and 5.
Okay, we're not going to discuss them at all.
But we got the Chargers. I think they're pre-contenders.
Yeah, the Chargers are pre-contenders. I really like their quarterback.
Justin Herbert.
Justin Herbert's a very good player, but he's had an up and down year, and I think the second half of the year he's been down, and ultimately I do wish the best for him, but I think the Chargers are a team that there might be a couple of years away. They're kind of like the Bengals to me. I think the Bengals and the Chargers could be a really interesting matchup in the next couple of years in the playoffs.
They were on a lot of people's radar for the beginning of the year. Because they thought, everybody thought Herbert was going to take that step in the next direction. And I think he has, but I just don't think they have a team built around him to make a run in the playoffs. So we'll dive into the NFC now.
Yeah, real quick,
Uh,
NFC.
We
Let's
have
get to the NFC.
We have at the top of the NFC the Arizona Cardinals. I think they're pretenders.
I'm gonna go contenders with the Cardinals. Now I know he's a pre-contender. Uh, Dylan.
I just think they're young and they're not. I don't think they're ready for the big stage.
They might not be, but I think their coach Cliff Kingsbury and I think their quarterback Kyler Murray actually has played very well, and I think that they're a team that can do some damage and inflict some pain in the playoffs if given the right matchup. We'll see. Next team.
Next, we have my personal favorite team in the NFC. I don't think that they're going to be coming out of the NFC, but the Green Bay Packers. I'm going to say contender because obviously any Aaron Rodgers led team, I think you have a good chance to do something.
So, the Packers are definitely contenders. I agree with you, Dylan. But, I'm not so sure that they're the team that I'm going to choose to come out of the NFC. I'm not sure about that. They could do it, but they've been so inconsistent this year. I'm going to lean toward them not doing it this year.
Okay, the next team is led by a guy who tortured us for 20 years. The
Tom Brady.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
So this is really easy for me. The Tampa Bay Bucks, they won the Super Bowl last year, guys. They are contenders if I've ever seen one. I actually, before he goes through the whole list of teams here in the NFC, I'm going to say they're the pick for me to come out of the NFC.
Now, my pick to come out of the NFC is actually the next team we're going to talk about here.
Okay.
They are the NFC East leading Dallas Cowboys.
Listen, Dallas, I think could be the team, but I'm gonna trust Tom Brady and the Buccaneers more than I'm gonna trust the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Now I will say
that's
this.
easy to do.
I will say this though. The Buccaneers defense has been kind of suspect this year. So if their defense doesn't pick it up, then the Cowboys definitely. The Cowboys have been probably the most well-rounded team in the NFC this year.
Yeah, and you got Dak. I think Dak is a shoo-in for NFL Comeback Player of the Year.
So ultimately, you got so you have in the AFC you have who, right? You have who in the NFC in the AFC
for Comeback Player of the Year?
No, in the AFC, who's your team to come out of the AFC?
The Chiefs.
Okay, so he has the Chiefs against the Cowboys. I'm gonna say, this is real hard. Can I change my pick?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, I'm actually.
So you got to stick to it. You
Okay.
know, when we do this again in a couple of weeks, actually previewing the matchups.
Okay, so here's what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna go in the AFC. The Bills are gonna play the Cowboys of the NFC in the Super Bowl this year, and technically in February, right?
Yeah.
In February, I think that's gonna be the matchup. Ultimately, I think the Cowboys are going to win their first championship
and
in a long
obviously
time.
we're on the same level here. I'm saying Chiefs Cowboys, but
I'm saying Bills Cowboys.
I think the Cowboys fall short and Patrick Mahomes gets another ring.
I think the Cowboys actually win, and I think the Bills are a formidable opponent, obviously, and they play great defense, but the Cowboys are probably the most well-rounded team in the league this year. The Buccaneers, I give a lot. So it's hard for me to pick between the Bucs and the Cowboys because Tom Brady is a polarizing person, and he when you have Tom Brady, it's hard. It's hard to separate Tom Brady from the whole. But yeah. I think do it tongue in the hole. Obviously, that's his favorite. That's his favorite player.
Yeah, that's my favorite player.
Tongue in the hole.
Yeah.
Tongue in the crotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
But ultimately, I think which is why I was stuck on the Bucs. But the Bucs defense, actually, when I think about it, I don't think they're good enough. I think it's Bills, Cowboys. Cowboys win it. The Cowboys haven't played great lately, but they've also had some injuries.
So we'll
see what happens.
Real quick, we also still have in the wild card spots, we have the Rams, the 49ers, and the Minnesota Vikings. I do like the Rams a lot. But the lack of playoff experience, I think, would get to Matthew Stafford, and I think we're gonna say pre-come on your face contenders.
Yeah. I think the Rams are come on your puss contenders potentially. they're just not. They're not the team that you want to mess with in the playoffs.
And
they're
Niners,
a great regular. They're like
know,
Peyton Manning. They're a great regular season team.
Yeah, and the Vikings get there. Shit, we
The
don't.
Vikings,
Kirk Cousins.
dude. If Kirk Cousins plays at the wrong time and on the wrong day, the guy's not good. So
Yeah, and heaven forbid they get the 8 o'clock slot in the first weekend.
Oh,
They're
God,
done. Primetime Kirk Cousins.
Primetime Kirk Cousins is Kirk. I'm gonna come on.
That's
your
like
cousins.
watching Ron Jeremy on a cooking show.
That's like watching Kirk Cousins come on your cousins. Anyway,
All right.
so
So listen, hey, real quick, from the bottom of our hearts,
to the top of
fucking-
our nuts,
from the bottom of our hearts,
top of our
to
nuts,
the top of our
balls.
balls, to the bottom of our peach trees. I was gonna say penis, but
And we're not-
everybody thought that's where I was going,
yeah,
but
and-
I switched it up on all of you.
And we're not
Uh,
trimming the bush.
Oh yeah, no,
No way.
Why would we do that?
Mhm.
So all I'd like to say is thank you for listening. Fuck you. See you next time. We're mildly offended.
Goodbye.